Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Guruzum, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Guruzum. Today, we are going to be talking about what happened yesterday in terms of our MLB exploits. Also, chopping up the pitching for the slate, man. Because it's a kind of a funky slate we got, man. You got starts at like 3 something. Where you have the 3 games, and then you got the 6. Let's go ahead and chop it up. Let's go ahead and open it up here. It's going to be over here on DraftKings. Let's go ahead and check it out. So you go to create lineups, and we can jump into it like that. All right, so we're going to rock MLB, man, and we're going classic because that arcade is for suckers. All right, so we got 8 games in the all day, okay? We've got 2 games in an early slate. That's at 3:40. We've got 6 games. Now that's going to serve as the main. All right. We've got 3 games at 8:10 at night, and then we have the 2 games in the late night at 10:08. And something I kind of want to look at, man, is the contest. Okay. Well, we can go to the lobby and kind of check this out because if I'm looking at MLB contests, and you take a look at this. And let's say you go with the Monday 340. Where's that? Okay. Now this is the main slate, the 7:05. This is where all the good tournaments are. You see that? If I go by total prizes, like this is where it's all good here. The $300 swing for the fences. They know it's a short slate. So they're not going to just give you the $3 buy-in or the $4 buy-in. They're going to bump it up to a $6 buy-in because they know we're degenerates. We're going to fall for that, right? But this is max enter. You've got the Grand Slam, $444 buy-in for you high rollers out there. I think this one is like a 50K, yeah, 50K the first payout. You got the full count. A lot of good tournaments. But what I want you to know, man, is this is where the sharks eat us alive in terms of being able to max enter because them max entering on a large slate doesn't really hurt us. It actually helps us. But them max entering on a smaller slate is what really gets us because, and I'm gonna tell you this, and it's the opposite for NBA. In NBA, when they max enter on a small slate, we can get them because the players don't go that deep. You see what I'm saying? Like there's not that many playable guys in NBA. In MLB, there's a ton of playable guys. So if they get us to throw a lot of money at those short slates and they can cover all the bases with those bigger bankrolls, they tend to suck up more of the cash. So I want you to look at this slate, and I'm not saying play lightly, but just be aware that you're going to be up against a lot of shark play, okay? And that's all good, man. Shout out to the max enter cats, man. We need you. There's no way we can keep taking your money if you don't continue to max enter. Shout out to the max enter guys. Fuck you to the guys that max enter and then have shows and try to tell us who to play because we know they're full of shit. We know that. There's no way you got 10 grand on the line and you're gonna tell me who to play. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't be a smart businessman if you did that. So, but we on to your shit. We know the game. So we're gonna be working, of course. Let's go to create now. We're gonna be working, of course, from RotoQL. It is my favorite site to use. Not in terms of research, but in terms of the optimization tools that they have, as well as the template that they use for the games. And we can see on the slate, bro, there's going to be a ton of great pitching on the slate. A ton of great pitching on the slate. A lot of great pitching. But we're going to go from we're going from an all-day perspective, just so that you can take a look. Because the all days, and that's why they do that. The all days are shitty. It's like, oh, $3 1.5K contest, and that's like, come on, man. Oh, it's a $4 a $27 $3,000 tournament. Like that's bullshit. Like you can't win no money there. You know what I'm saying? You really can't. So we got some solid pitching, man. We got Sale, Greinke, Carlos Carrasco, Berrios, Gio Gonzalez, Rich Hill, Jeff Samardzija, Cole Hamels, Montgomery, Marquez. So we got a nice, and we have the cores of pitching on the slate as well, and we're gonna talk about that in just a moment when we hop into the park factors, because I kind of want you all to get in tune with the places where the game's gonna be played. I think that we gloss over that a lot of the times, and I pretty much play a pitcher that whenever AT&T is on deck, I normally play a pitcher from that game on either side. I'm gonna play a pitcher on some level. I'm gonna play a pitcher whenever they're in AT&T Park. I'm gonna look at some of those park factors and see some of the best places around the league for pitching. Okay, so let's go ahead, jump into the template. We've got it open up right here. We've got 8 games on the slate. I'm going to change this from the RotoQL projection to the season average projection because that is a paid service that they offer. I cannot give their shit away for free. We still got Philly playing Arizona in the spot, man. Jamar Simmons, what's up, big homie? Good to see you. Now, take a look here at 340. The first pitch is going to go out. This is in Chase Field in Arizona, one of the best places as far as batters go. We're taking a look here at the park factor. I think this park is plus 108, man, plus 108. And what this means is that, you know, from 2010 to 2016, Chase Field produced 109 runs for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park, and 106 home runs for every 100 homers for a mean park factor of 108. So this place is a very great, solid place for batters, and that's on either side. On either side, it's a very great place for batters. We got to get into these park factors so we know exactly what's going on, okay? So we've got, of course, 18% humidity, 0% chance of rain. It's a dome. It's going to be hot as shit, 105, 104 degrees Fahrenheit there. 0% chance of rain, of course, 52 dew point. We got, it says we have Nick Pivetta and Zach Greinke. I'm going to take a look over on DK because I don't think that is correct. No, it is. It is. Pivetta and Greinke. Okay, now Pivetta, in his last start, the dude was priced down to 5.8. I told you to play him. 24.5 fantasy points. Very solid game. The game before that, 30.15. So Pivetta is a guy that definitely has scoring potential at 5K, but at 7.3, I don't think he's a place that I can get to. On the other side, you look at Zach Greinke at 12.8. Remember, this is a hitter's park. Let's take a look at what Zach Greinke does at home. At home against San Diego, 20. At home against the White Sox, 42. Solid game. At home against the Mets, 22. At home against Pittsburgh, 40. At home against Colorado, 20. At home against San Diego, 33. At home against Cleveland, 26. So this dude has been very, very good at the crib, man. And I'm telling you, the Phillies have been swinging a hot stick, so to speak, in this series. But I think today is a day where the pitching can get the best of them. We take a look at where the Phillies are at 8th in K rate, 23.2% here, a 123 ISO, 299 WOBA. This definitely makes them an attackable squad, and it also makes Zach Greinke a playable option here. Now I'm gonna tell you, on larger slates, I'm really not into paying up for pitching because I think there's just a lot of stuff in the middle that goes overlooked that we can find. But you know, and if you're playing it early, I think you gotta play Greinke in some spots. I mean, you really have no choice. If you're playing it all day, I think you can get away with playing Greinke. He's going to be a guy that's going to have consideration if I do play in the all day or in the early. I kind of like him. We look at Pivetta. I think today is a day where he kind of gets hits up, and you can definitely take notice of some of those Arizona bats here in the spot. The next game we got is going to be the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals. Eric Christensen, what's up, big homie? Now checking out the park factor here in St. Louis, excuse me. They have Busch Stadium, man, is a minus 90, and what this means is that you know, Busch Stadium produces 96 runs for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park, and 85 home runs for every 100 homers. So that means that, you know, this is an extreme pitcher's park. Like, this is a place where a pitcher can thrive. Busch Stadium. So if you catch a good pitcher in a solid matchup in St. Louis, I think that can be an area that you can take a look at. Now we got Amir Garrett, Michael Walker. Garrett in his last start, kind of surprised, or the start before last, surprised a lot of people against San Diego, dropping 20.1. Got hit up against Tampa Bay for negative 3.15. We've seen the St. Louis Cardinals recently have been slinging sort of a hot stick here. You take a look at the Cardinals, and they are fairly disciplined at the plate, I believe, among 13th in the league in K rate, 21.8%, hitting for a ton of extra bases recently with a 248 ISO and a 353 WOBA. That's very good. So I definitely think that Amir Garrett is going to be off the table for me. I'm going to look toward, and you're going to see a lot of righty power in the St. Louis rotation tomorrow. I think that's the best way to go, and that does put Michael Wacha, a kind of a guy that I'm going to have consideration with. But we've seen the Cincinnati Reds really destroy right-handed pitching, especially from some of the left-handed bats. So Michael Wacha is tentative at this moment, and Amir Garrett is a no-go. But in that early, those 3 games in that early, I think that might be one of the only places we can go. So next game we got Chicago Cubs and the Washington Nationals. Taking a look here, we've got 7-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field in National Park. 0% chance of rain, 79 degrees. Yo, Kurt Nick, looking for that fire. You know I got it for you, homie. Now, with the dew point is 52 here, we got Eddie Butler at 5.2 and Gio Gonzalez at 9.8. And Gio's last start, he got a fair amount of strikeouts, which took up to 24.35 points. But he did get hit up a little bit. And that just goes to show you how good this guy can be. Okay? Very solid pitcher. Very solid pitcher. And while he is still priced, under 10K, I think that he does deserve some consideration. Now, my only trepidation would be, a lot of those power righties are going to be in the lineup for the Chicago Cubs tomorrow. We can also see a 9.5 run total here. Eddie Butler is not an option that I think I can get behind. We take a look at the park factor in terms of the Nationals park, and I think this is pretty much, a hitter spot. Well, pretty much middle of the pack. Okay, this means that in the recent years, the Nationals park produced 100 runs for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park. So it's pretty average. 95 home runs for every 100 homers for a park factor of negative 98. So this is not. This is a neutral. This is it's a neutral park. So this is where talent speaks. This is where talent speaks. Where you can overpower other teams with talent. And I think both of these batting orders have the ability to do that against the pitcher they're facing, but I think more so with the Nationals against Eddie Butler than the Chicago Cubs against Gio Gonzalez. And that's why if I had to pick a pitcher in this particular game, Gio would get the nod, but I kind of like this one as a game stack if we can fit it in. Next game we got, and excuse me, that was the first game on the 6-game night slate. Next game we got Minnesota Twins and the Boston Red Sox here. 8-mile-per-hour wind going out towards center field. Partly cloudy here. The humidity is at 47%. 0% chance of rain. 74 degrees. We got Jose Berrios and Chris Sale. This could be a pitcher's duel. And I think, I think a lot of people are going to say, in the all day, why would I pay up 12.8 for Greinke at home when I can get Sale at home? And looking at what Sale does, man, in his last start, it was very good. 33.75. Before that, 35.5. So we have seen him pick up the pace from those that string of 20-point games that he did have. And I think against the Twins, he's definitely playable. Sale being on the slate makes Berrios playable. He really does. And I think you would stand more of a chance to play Berrios and he do well than to play Chris Sale and he does well. Because if you play Sale and he does well, he scores his 30 points, then that's going to limit your bats. It really is. But if you play Berrios, you're going to have to pivot to Sale, who's going to be very highly owned, and Berrios can score Sale-like points. Taking over looking at the last few starts for him, 31, 26, 22, and the dude is like a young phenom, man. So I definitely think that Berrios is going to be in play, and I'm not afraid to play pitchers against the Red Sox in Boston, because we're going to take a look at their park factors here. Let's check it out. Where are we at? Boston. Now Fenway. Fenway is a plus 101. This means that for Fenway Park produced 111 runs for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park, and 90 home runs for every 100 homers for the other teams. So that means you're more likely to score regular runs, not just hit jacks in this park. And a lot of that's due to the big green monster. If you look at the shape of this thing, man. This is short. This is a short porch. But, bro, that wall is so high right there that it's just tough to get. I mean, this shit right here turns home runs into doubles. You know what I'm saying? The big green monster. Like, it turns home runs into doubles. Okay? So I think I'm going to take a shot here and look at the pitching of Jose Berrios. And kind of, I'm gonna have a lineup where I do play Sale, so I'm gonna highlight him as well. But there's gonna be a lot of lineups that I don't have Sale in it, and I pay down to guys like Barrios, and then find another cheaper mid-level guy to kind of offset some of that Sale ownership. Because if he goes out and has a mediocre game, bro, you are ahead of like 40% of the field automatically. Next game, we got Texas Rangers and the Cleveland Indians. We got Cole Hamels at 8.1, Carlos Carrasco at 11.6. There's a ton of high-dollar pitchers on this slate, man. 8.5 run total here, 16-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field in Progressive, 6% chance of light rain. The dew point is at 48. It is 69 degrees. Let's take a look at the park factor here in Progressive for Cleveland. We're going to look at it, and I think this is another neutral park, so to speak. It's average. You know, it produces 99 runs for every 100 runs that you see in an average MLB park, and 101 home runs for every 100 homers for a neutral park factor. So that doesn't make too much of a difference from a park standpoint. So I think, you know, Carlos Carrasco is a guy at 11.6. Yo, I think this guy can really struggle against the Texas Rangers, man. Against Baltimore, everybody has their best game. 33.3 against Baltimore here, 26 against Minnesota, 14 against the White Sox in his last 3 starts. A guy that does have control issues at time. Not a guy that I particularly love on this slate. Then we got Cole Hamels at 8.1, the lefty, going up against a bunch of switch hitters, 9, 22, 3.85, 18.3. Not really loving Hamels, but I'm going to take a look at what the Indians have done recently. I know they're one of the more disciplined teams in the league in terms of strikeouts at the plate. 15.1% K rate, 206 ISO, which is coming down some, and a 370 WOBA, which was just 396. So I'm not saying they're slumping, but they haven't hit the ball as well as they have been recently. But 16-mile-per-hour wind, man, that's what want to get me off of both pitchers in this spot, man. I do like some Cleveland guys. I'll be rocking more towards the Cleveland guys and maybe a couple of Texas power lefties. The next game we got is the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. My New York Yankees. We got the homie Jordan Montgomery here. 7.6 still a fair price for him. Had kind of a disappointing game his last 2 starts. And that goes to show you how good this guy can be when we were disappointed by 18.8, 18.5, 9.9. We thought he was going to continue to ascend from that 12 to the 23 to the 28. But he ran up into the Oakland A's at home in Oakland. You know how Oakland can crush at the crib. So we've got the Yankees away from the Bronx, and they didn't have a good showing in the swing in the Bronx either. So maybe they can make things change some. We got Dave Holmberg at 4.5. Both lefties in this matchup. 10-run total here. 14-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field in U.S. Cellular Field. Let's go ahead and check out the park factors for the White Sox in this spot. 6th in the league. This means that in the years 2010 and 2016, U.S. Cellular Field produced 106 runs for every 100 runs. So you score 6 more runs here than you would in all other parks. 125 home runs for every 100 homers. So this is a very plus park factor coming in for it, and that's going to make us want to arrange some bats in this game. Holmberg will last about 4.2 innings, coming from Dave Cunningham. So that means I'm gonna want some of the power bats in the spot, man. Give me the cats that hit the long ball, guys with a high fly ball ratios, man. I like that. Give me, the Aaron Judges and the Gary Sanchez's. Even on the other side against Jordan Montgomery, I think he's gonna be pretty much a chalkier play on the slate. I really do, and I think that we can exploit that with maybe a White Sox. A few of the White Sox players, I like that as well. So Montgomery, while he will garner some consideration for me, he's not that mid-level guy that I think I can play everywhere. He's just not, because I think the park factor plus the 14-mile-per-hour wind plus the power bats that are going to be righties, the Abreu's and the Davisons and the Fraziers, that's going to make me get on some of those White Sox. And plus, with how bad the Yankees have been playing, how bad they've been fielding lately, I like some of the White Sox in the spot. Where's Edwin Neves when you need him? Next game we got is going to be the Colorado Rockies and the San Francisco Giants. We got 2 decent pitchers, one really great one and one very good. We got German Marquez at 7.5, Jeff Samardzija at 8.4, 7.5 run total here. And I like this because we take a look at the park factors. I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom because this is the best park for pitchers in the Major League Baseball. The best. This is the best. This is the place where, you know, the ball just will not get out of the yard. Now, I'm telling you, 84 runs are produced here for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park. And 67 home runs are hit here for every 100 home runs for a park factor of minus 76. This is an extreme pitcher's park, and that is why every slate that I get AT&T Park, I like to play some form of pitching, whether, you know, it's the visiting team or the home team. I like to play it, and I think I'm going to split the difference in this situation. I'm going to have a couple of lines with German Marquez. I'm going to have some lines with Jeff Samardzija, because if you look at what the Colorado's Rockies do away from Coors Field, this is the complete opposite of Coors Field. And I definitely think that we can see Samardzija pitch a very good game against the Rockies in this spot. And I also think that because of how bad the Giants have been recently, while they don't strike out a lot, 15.9% K rate, but the 175 ISO, which is right around league average, and a 330 WOBA, also say to me that I can play Marquez in some spots too. So I will have some Samardzija. I will have some Marquez. Let's take a look at what the Rockies have been doing lately. In terms of K rate, they are 6th in the league, 23.9% K rate here, 131 ISO with a 310 WOBA. Yo, you can play it. Yo, Samardzija, I like him. I like him. I like him. And the last game on the slate is going to be LA, baby. LA. We got the Los Angeles Angels and the Los Angeles Dodgers. We got 6 mile per hour wind here, 0% chance of rain, 85 degrees. We got Ricky Nolasco, who is a home run machine. This dude is like, let's just go ahead and check out the park factors for the Dodgers, okay? So we got a Dodgers park factor. We're going to LA, 17th. That's going to make them fairly neutral. Dodger Stadium produced 91 runs for every 100 runs produced in the average MLB park, and 104 home runs for every 100 homers produced in an average MLB park. So that's going to make this a sort of a neutral park here. And then that's when you look at the talent involved. Like, you just seen Cody Bellinger just smack 2 jacks. If you didn't play that dude, you're nuts. Okay? That dude should be played just as much as you play Aaron Judge. Every time Judge on the slate, he's 40% owned. And you look at Bellinger, and he's like 22% owned. That's ridiculous. You've got Bellinger should be played, okay? This is going to call to me. You got Nolasco in this spot. 4, 4, 10, 15, 1, 10, 15. The dude has not scored. Well, his best game was 28 against Oakland, away in Oakland when they were hitting Rotterdam. So, Nolasco, bro. This dude is Bronson. He's the new Bronson Arroyo. Arroyo is on the DL, probably not going to play anymore. Ricky Nolasco has taken his place as the dude that gives up jacks, okay? So I have no issue with playing just about anywhere along the Dodger lines. You know what they do to right-handed pitching. Shout out to the homie Dylan Zink. I am all over the Dodgers. I will like them tomorrow. And you take a look at Rich Hill at 8.6. He is another guy that I think can see a very solid performance. 25.05 against the Mets. -4 against Cleveland. Against Cincinnati, 20. Hadn't seen the Angels this year, but I think Rich Hill can be in a very good spot. He's a guy that's going to make a few of my lineups. And see, the funny thing is, if you want to say, okay, let's go to the we're gonna go to the main, because we're gonna chop with the main. All right, first thing you see is you got Boston on the main. So you got Berrios, you got Chris Sale, okay? You've got Gio Gonzalez at 9.8. You've got Carlos Carrasco at 11.6. You got Jordan Montgomery, 7.6. You've got Marquez and Samardzija. You've got Nolasco and Rich Hill. I'm going to tell you something. Nobody is going to want to play Rich Hill. Nobody is going to want to play Samardzija or Marquez. Those are my 3 pitchers that I really like going into today. Those are the guys I like the most right now. Nobody's going to want to play them. Because the one thing I can guarantee, is if I play those 3 pitchers, I can get just about any bat I want. I can rock out with my cock out any bat I want. But I know if I play Sale, who is in play, don't get me wrong. If I play Sale, it's going to limit me. If I play Berrios, it's going to limit me. If I play, if I pay up a little bit for Gio Gonzalez, I'm going to be somewhat limited in my bats. Okay, and I'd rather lose with the bats I want than die with the pitchers everybody else wants. You see what I'm saying? I would rather lose with the bats that I select than lose with the pitchers that everybody else wanted. And I'm just getting them because they're, oh man, it's gonna be 40% on. I gotta get them. Quick question from Casey Matthews, aka K Sizzle 7 on Twitter. How did my CFL do, bro? Not too good. Not too good. I gotta come back. I gotta come back in. I gotta get back in. Yo, hey, yo, K Sizzle, I need you, baby. We got to get in another session, man. I'm looking at. Just let me know. Hit me up on what day you want to jump in and do the live stream. I know you're a third shift cat, so you're gonna be available whenever. Just get with me and we'll set a date and we'll get back into it. K Sizzle is rocking out the CFL for us, man. Yo, and Lee the Napoli shouted K Sizzle out and was like, yo, I listened to the show and I won a 150. I turned 304 into 150. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yo, his name is, yo, Alec Gomez is 100% right. His name is not Pineda anymore. It's Pinata. It's Pinata. The only problem is the volatility of the batters. I'm going to tell you something about the volatility of the batters, okay? Okay, I'm going to tell you something. This is what's going to solve the volatility of the batters. Stacks. Yo, what I've been doing lately has been crushing, okay? Like on a larger slate, on the 10 game, anything 10 games or more, I make 10 stacks. I make 10 stacks. I settle on my pitching, and I'm either going to live or die. I know I'm going to make money by how my pitchers do. If my pitchers do well, I'm going to make money. If they don't, I still might, but I probably won't, right? What I do is I make 10 stacks. There's no way. We are so smart and so in tune in the sweatshop. If you make 10 stacks, let's say you're just playing dollar games, bro. Let's say you're playing dollar games or quarter games or whatever. If you make 10 stacks and you settle your pitching on 3 guys, right? And you make 10 stacks and you interchange all of those 3 guys and you make those 10 stacks, and then you take your 4 ranked stacks or your 5 ranked stacks or how you rank them in some order, and you take each one and throw them in a single entry according to the price. The higher dollar single entry you buy, you put your favorite stack in there. The next one, you put your second favorite. You put your third favorite. You put your fourth favorite. That's what I do, right? And the night that I had the other night, that's what happens when all of my pitchers in my pitcher pool go off. The nights that I've been having all week long was when 2 of them go off, or 1 of them go off. When 1 of them go off and the other one gets negative. I cashed and made money the night that Ty Block had negative 14. Because I paid for the batters I want. We know who's going to hit jacks, bro. Batting is not as volatile as pitching, bro. We know. We know. We are in tune, bro. This is a sweatshop. And you want, and Samuel like the drum, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? The volatility of the batters is not nearly as problematic as, no, 10 stacks, different teams. 10 different team stacks. What either I go and preferably, I want to go 1 through 5. Those are the ones that I put in my single entries. The ones that are 1 through 5 that I love. Like let's just say, for instance, right? I'm gonna find one that's already posted, which this is not gonna be like their main rotation because it's gonna change. It could change tomorrow. All right, let's just say right here. Okay, rarely do we see Gary Sanchez in this spot in the 4 hole, right? Let's just say that this is the lineup that comes out tomorrow. Where you got Gardner, Hicks, Judge, Sanchez, Didi. Let's just say I absolutely love this 1 through 5. Oh my God, this is my favorite 1 through 5 on the slate. I'm gonna make a stack of this. Let's say I've got another one over here, and I don't really love the 1 through 5 here. I don't love it. I don't love it. Whoever I don't like, I'm gonna replace. But I'm gonna have a stack here. I've got a stack of the Yankees. I got a stack of the White Sox. I got a stack of Texas, a stack of Cleveland, a stack of Boston. I got 10 stacks. One of them gonna hit. And a lot of times I like to make a couple of stacks of the underdog plays. Teams that people don't think are gonna do well. Like say tomorrow, you might look at the but I don't go against aces though. I don't do that. I'm not gonna stack a team against Chris Sale. That's suicide to me. I'm not gonna do that. Right? Let's just say we look at a line and okay, like tomorrow. Let's just say that the Angels are really underfavored against Sale, right? Okay, big. This is a big one. The Dodgers are minus 220, so that means they're supposed to win by a ton of points. The Dodgers, that is. What I would do, I'd make an Angel stack. I make an Angel stack if I like the 1 through 5. I gotta like the batting order. That's why I don't talk too much about specific plays until I actually see the batting orders. And if you want to be a part of that, check us out in the DFS Sweatshop website. Go to www.dfssweatshop.com. That's when you can get your entry into the line drive at 5, where once the batting orders come out, we go in there and we make fire. We chop up fire, and I'm telling you, it's been killing it this last week. I'm so sick. Well, the last 3 weeks, actually, since I got back from Miami. While I was in Miami. It's been killing it, bro. It's been killing it. We on fire right now. So, that's what I do, man. That is my complete strategy. And I have no issue sharing that with you because guess what? I don't have an interest in seeing you lose. You know what I mean? Because I'm only playing like 50, 60 bucks. I'm not playing like hundreds of tens of thousands of dollars. I don't care if you look over my shoulder and see my line and be like, oh shit, I'm gonna play that too. I don't care. I'm not trying to like box you out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't not want you to know who I'm playing. Like who gives a fuck? They messed up, bro. Yo, Andrew Pierce made the perfect points. They done fucked up, man. They let me watch baseball. Yo, I did not watch as much baseball last year as bro. If you know me from NBA, and I know what really drew you to me was the fact that I was so heady and knowledgeable about specifics in the NBA, and that came from watching so many games. I'm taking that same approach at MLB, bro. I am watching so much baseball. So much baseball. Oh my god. And it's dope. I love it. So, get with us, man. And single entry is the key to that, because when I throw my stacks, when I take my 4 favorite stacks or 5 favorite stacks or 6 favorite stacks, because single entries go from 200 to 150 to 50 to 40 to 20 to 12 to 5 to 3 to 1. So whatever you want to play. And when I throw my single entry lineups in there and I rank my stacks and I put the money according to how I rank them, my favorite stack I put the most money on, and then down the line, when I do that, bro, and I pick my favorite stack is when I put the most money on, bruh, I hit them. I hit them. I hit them. That's my strategy. And that's what we should be doing. We did this during NBA. This is what we did during NBA. It evens the playing field, bro. Because they got one shot, one kill, just like you. So if you got the right stacks, and that's why when they do their shows at night, they go position by position. Oh, position by position. We must go to because they don't want you to know that you're supposed to be stacking teams. That's what this shit is. This is nothing more than who stacks the hot team. That's all this is. Who stacks the hot team? And it changes. It flip flops. You know what I'm saying? Because think about this now. So far this season, the Washington Nationals was the most prolific offense we've ever seen. And then it was, no, fuck that. The Yankees, oh my God, they're hitting the ball at a rate unseen. And then it was, oh, no. The Houston Astros, oh my God, they're on pace to shatter records. And now it's, no, the Dodgers. The Dodgers is the greatest lineup of left-handed bats ever assembled. Greatest rookies ever. This shit is streaks and runs, bro. The good teams have longer streaks. You know what I'm saying? Streaks and slumps. The good teams have longer streaks. The bad teams have longer slumps. You know what I'm saying? Once we get, I don't got to read on that. I've got to read on that. We all do. Because y'all fuck with me and I fuck with y'all. So we got to read on that. And that's what we're doing. You look at the Nats last night. The night before, they scored 18 runs. And scored what? 2, 3 today? 3 today? Streaks and slumps, bro. Streaks and slumps. This has been your DFS Jerusalem. Of course, I want you to follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Wait a minute. Let's go ahead. And I'm gonna get you my pitching player pool right now. And this is subject to change as things go down. But Sale is a guy all of you are gonna love. I don't love him as much as you do, but I probably will have a tiny amount of exposure. Barrios is the same thing for him. Very light for Gio Gonzalez. I like Rich Hill. I like Samardzija. I like German Marquez, and I may have some exposure to Jordan Montgomery. That's the cheapest I'm going to be going is German Marquez. Ricky Nolasco and Dave Holmberg are my early Shelly candidates. That's how I'm rocking. Thank y'all so much for joining me here in the sweatshop. I'm your host, the DFS Jerusalem. Follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. The number one thing I want you to do, if you're on FanDuel, keep it 250. If you're on DraftKings, keep it 200. If you're in the sweatshop and you got love for the boy, go ahead and keep it 300. Peace.